Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep going. I clutch onto the towel around me. Batman and Joker Timu edition. I clutch onto the towel around me like it's my last bit of sanity. It is. I can just imagine how insane I must look right now. Scaling rooftops in nothing but absurdly lavish bath towel. It's large and admittedly soft, black with an N embroidered in gold thread. I'm annoyed that it reeks of him. I don't even want to think of his name. How could this happen to me? You know what? No, we're doing this. Girl's blind. It's because of him that I'm in this horribly comical scenario, hoping and begging to praying to avoid being seen by anything sentient. How did I end up like this over one man? We'll be going on a date with him tomorrow anyway. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Was this the plan all along, to get me at my most vulnerable? You're just dumb, girl. If so, he had won this round, but at what cost? My heart? I knew he was a villain, but I never thought he'd go as far to play with my emotions. Nope, you're just dumb. I focused all of my attention on fleeing the scene, finding some refuge in one of the many warehouses in the city. You know, she said she had a vision of being with Kronos in a warehouse. You know. Oh look, taking a moment to adjust my outfit, if you could even call it that. A singular car passes by, the sound reverberating in the space for a moment. I stand still until it returns to a pin-drop silence once again. Possibly the worst protagonist of visual novel? I think one of the worst, not possibly the worst, but one of the worst in a visual novel I've read. This place is abandoned, no doubt. There shouldn't be a single living soul here, but at least if I did get caught, it would only be me. It would only be my reputation in shambles rather than Oracle's. No one else would know it was me except for my mom, and now Nick. He knows it was me. It's a stupid thought. He always knew. Why hadn't he said anything? I didn't want so much to think of his name. But that thought doesn't leave my mind. Why did he keep my secret? Just so he could reveal it later? Nope. Or maybe, no. I don't want to think about anything he said. Those 3 words especially. I continue my escape, scoping the place for a second, sensing something incredibly familiar about it. In major cities, abandoned warehouses were a dime to a dozen, but it wasn't like I could tell much difference between them. Yet somehow this uncanny familiar, like deja vu. I know where I am. Before that thought has fully registered, I feel his presence. I feel his presence difference now. Nick possibly can't do anything worse than this. He's a great catch. I can feel him before I see him. Then, as I look, I get a flash of the vision I got this morning. The one I haven't even noticed I didn't see before. When Mom was kidnapped, I never saw Kronos because Kronos was already there with me. Oh, how much has changed in the last 5 hours. Inseparable to adversaries, I struggle to look at him, worried I'll lose all my momentum. Even before I knew he was Nick, Kronos always had a way to disarm me. He stripped me of all my defenses. I was already as weak as I could be. Now was my time to fight or take flight. I am cautiously. He sized me up as well, moving little and staying uncharacteristically quiet, uncomfortably so. What if Kronos is the one? Apparently great chemistry there. Oh yeah, they're perfect for each other. I'm still curious to know what his superpower is. I never knew what was on his mind before. I've even less of a clue now. Ooh, should we say something? Just watch him, okay. I'm still curious. What's with all the straps? He has to do the straps for like an aesthetic purpose at this point. Huh. Decisions. I think saying something might be good. But it also shows that we're the weak one. What do you want? What do you want? Why are you here? Instead of responding, he reaches down slowly. Watching me watch him, he bends down slowly and unzips the bag, pulling out its content. Did he bring us our clothing? As he pulls it out, I see it, and I know what it is immediately. I'd recognize that symbol anywhere. It's my suit. Give it back, I say calmly. The last thing I want to do now is show any weakness. Sure, I may be naked in the abandoned warehouse with my supervillain ex-boyfriend. Oh, she thinks she has an option to get out of the relationship. But that didn't mean I was helpless. I was still Oracle, damn it.
If we can talk, I'll give it back.
Ooh. You know what? Let's hear him out. We either be mad for being dumb ourselves. Why are we being mad at him? We're dumb. We could have easily pieced the pictures together. Let's hear him out. I'm curious. Just show a little bit. Be a little civil. Then talk. We've got 5 minutes. Then I'm leaving, suit or not. Without other words, he hands me back my suit, looking relieved despite not being able to see his face. His body relaxes.
I never wanted you to find out this way.
There was a simple solution to that. I respond without missing a beat. I can't help but say it despite giving him the floor.
It may seem like everything I'd done was fake, but it wasn't. I wanted to get closer to you, no matter what.
That set my chest ablaze. You lied to me at every chance you got. You kidnapped my mother, and I'm pretty sure you've killed at least 3 people.
I lied, but I never lied about my feelings for you. Those people I killed were all criminals. They were all people who hurt someone. People who hurt you.
At least 3 people? Oh yeah? What about Jack? What crime did he commit other than being annoying? Oh! There's no voice line for this. Matter of fact, he had incriminating videos of women he slept with on his computer. Hidden camera footage. He was no saint. That catches me off guard. Are you serious? If that was true, then it made his injury a lot easier to stomach, if nothing else. Where's my super suit? Yeah. Oh, there's no voice acting anymore. I'm serious, he showed a lot of interest in you, and I couldn't risk anything happening to you. Yes, I've hurt people, if you want to call them that. I only regret involving your mother. I know I fucked up. But I never hurt her. I would never hurt her. Maybe not physically, but that's still traumatizing. You went too far. I know I did, and I swear I'll never do that to you again. I was desperate. You wanted us to break up because of your secret identity, so I had to make sure you'd tell me. Yep, there we go. Somehow that's not surprising? No. So you manipulated me? You coerced me to do that? So much so I would die. I feel my throat tighten up. I told you I loved you. What was the point of all this? Seriously. He met my eye, staring for a moment too long. I swallow. Lips having gone completely dry. Isn't that obvious? Because I'm hopelessly, stupidly, criminally in love with you. Welp, at least he said the thing. You're mad, I understand, but I'm not giving up on us. Let me make this right, please. This guy went too far a few chapters back. He went too far in chapter 1. Oh. Okay, hold up. We're gonna save. Nope, that's the wrong button. Let's save. We can forgive him right off the bat. Cause, you know, that's good. Maybe we're the red flag. Just a thought. We either say we need time and risk getting kidnapped, or we immediately forgive him and embrace the red flags that both of us are red flags. Oh boy. Huh. Forgive him is probably a bad ending. Then you know what? Let's go for the bad ending. If things get bad, I can always reload, and we say we need time. We just go for it. Okay, I get what you did. We've made this character as dumb as possible. Oops. I can overlook a lot of it. I could have overlooked most of it, but the lying... You can't lie to me anymore. Because if you ever do this to me again, I'll never be able to forgive you again, Dick. Yeah, we're the villain of the... Thank you. We are the villain at this point. We're just dumb. We're not like... We are the worst superhero ever. I promise I swear on my life I'll never swear to you again. Good. Give me my suit. I need to get home. He looks down between it and me, eventually handing it over. I might forgive you, but that doesn't mean you're completely off the hook. I need a little space. I can feel his eyes glued to me. I guess I could give him a little treat. Oh no. I accidentally loosed the grip on the towel fastened around me, covering just as quickly. Oops. I watch as his chest heaves deep. Deep breaths can be heard as if I strain my ears hard enough. How will we know if he's lying next time? We won't. I'll call you soon. Just be a good boy and be patient, okay? We're treating him like an actual dog now. Great. Never has a man nodded faster. We could step on this man and almost try and take out his throat, and he would thank us. My work here was done. Chapter 14. How long is this? Bro is sleeping in the doghouse when he gets home. How many chapters are there? I am so wow. I first met Nick 2 years ago. At the same place we had our first date. Only, I was Oracle then. The music ended in one big finish, our set complete. An enthusiastic applause followed, some going as far to stand and whistle. It had been our best performance yet. I belted the last note of the song, pausing a moment before speaking into it this time. I cannot do words. Thank you, I began, my voice steady and sincere. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, for letting our music be a part of your evening. It's not just about the notes we play, it's about the space between them, the shared experience, the unspoken understanding. You've all made this night unforgettable, and for that, we're so grateful. The crowd responded with another round of cheers and applause. Such a sweet sound. It was everything I ever wanted growing up. Recognition. I could have stood there a few more moments, taking it all in, but it was ripped apart in an instant. 2 years later and she hasn't learned anything. Nope. What were once claps turned into rushing footsteps. Shouts of encouragement became screams. The warmth of the atmosphere became frigid cold. An unnatural gust of wind swept through the bar. The doors slammed open with a force that rattled the windows, and a figure cloaked in swirling wind stepped into the room. Tempest? Nobody move! The figure commanded his voice, a chilling mix of authority and malice. This is Tempest. You're all caught in my storm now. Does being a villain mean you have to be good at puns? Because if so, I'd be a horrible villain. After a moment of stillness, the panic erupted once again. Chairs began to topple, glass shattered to the floor. The air grew heavy, charged with an electric tension. I moved towards the back, behind the curtain, my mind racing. My bandmates were already lost in the fray. This isn't just a robbery, and it's an attack. I can't let this unfold. I slipped into the backstage area, my heart slamming in my chest. My suit, it's in my briefcase, in my locker. Once I located it, it wasn't much longer before I was changed. Empowered, I felt my muscles swell, my energy increase, and my speed heighten. Does the suit give us powers? The transformation was more physical. This complete mental shift. Fear replaced with the rush of impenetrable bravery. Back in the main room, Tempest was wreaking havoc. The air crackled with his power as he manipulated the wind, sending patrons flying and tearing the bar apart. I couldn't let it continue. I did what I could to ensure as many civilians as possible could escape through the front entrance, so far as stepping outside for a moment to make sure passbyers wouldn't get curious. Just I went to retrieve more people from inside the building to let them out. This is right outside the entrance of the bar, flying through the air wildly. A man flew right into me. I snatched him out of the air and carried him across my arms in one smooth motion. He looked around, stunned for a moment, before finally setting his eyes at me. The strength of Tempest winds was so strong that they harmed just those passing by. I was taken aback by a pair of heterochromia eyes, accompanied by quite a handsome face. It's only a crime if justice is actually enforced.
Oracle?
I cleared my throat. I got you. He stared at me, blinking for a moment. You should get out of here while you still can. He didn't seem to even hear what I said. Sir, are you even listening? I said, waving my hand in front of his face. He nodded, swallowing deeply. I thought he must have been scared. He looked dazed. Maybe he was electrocuted or hit his head. No, he fell for us at first sight. Are you okay? I am now, he said, practically batting his eyelashes, looking at me so deeply it felt like I was not even wearing a mask. Okay, so he's fine. He just had no survival instincts whatsoever. It was not the time to be flirting. Sir, you need to get to safety. I need to stop Tempest before anyone else gets hurt. I have to practically drop him to get him to leave despite basically ordering him to. I turned to leave only for him to grip my arm. I look over my shoulder, annoyed. What? You know where the breaker box is, don't you? Yes, what about it? If you break it, it might stop him from shocking everything that moves. Just a thought. Huh. That was not a bad idea. Yes, I'll take it into consideration. Now please go. I don't want you to get hurt. I think we can officially start panicking if he breaks up with us. If this is a flashback, this must be the moment where Kronos fell in love with us. He did a poor job fighting back his enormous grin. I can't focus on it or even check if he's done as I instructed. I was losing time and fast. I moved through the bar swiftly, silently, my senses heightened. I locate the electrical panel and, with a well-placed strike, disable the power. Tempest grips on the storm falters as the lights flicker for a moment, and then plunge the room into total darkness. I seize my opportunity, and I finally confront him. Look like there's been a change in today's forecast. Okay, is it? Do you have to be good at puns to be a hero or a supervillain? Is just that mandatory? Having felt incredibly smug by the look of sheer bewilderment on his face, the energy in the room seems to ease as well. I can only hear gasps of Oracle flooding my chest with comfort. Tempest sneered, his eyes glowing with fury. You think you can stop me, Oracle? I don't respond. Instead, I jump on him, disarming him with a rear chokehold in an attempt to make him submit. An attempt that had gone far too well. It seemed all he had at his disposal was his power. He hadn't trained his body like I had day in and day out. It was all bark and no bite. At some point it felt as if I was fighting a child. He was horrifically unprepared for close-quarter combat. Having lost any electricity to paralyze me, he was a sitting duck. I hate to admit it, but that handsome civilian had saved me some trouble. The battle raged on for another minute. His hands clawed over my forearm. The wind subsided completely as he eventually lost consciousness. I lowered my guard, my breath coming in heavy gasps. I bet Tempest would consider Nick to be a horrible boyfriend. Yes, he would. The patrons began to emerge from their hiding places, a mix of relief and awe. In the crowd, I spotted the blonde man from before staring. No, not staring, undressing me with his eyes. Huh. He didn't leave? He should have. I don't fall that easily. Buy me a dinner first, at least. I thought as I try not to falter under his intense gaze. Can he read thoughts? I turned my attention to the little old man at my side instead. Oracle, you saved us. Thank you. I nod, offering a reassuring smile beneath my mask. It's what I do. I feel compelled to check on the man once again, except when I turned to look, he was gone. A month later, I transferred from my previous job into something more steady. In search of something with good benefits and decent income, I found myself working at Corton's Investments as a project manager. With Mom's medical bill stacking up, and at least the insurance I gained from working there would be enough to elevate those stresses. I knew it was a step in the right direction, even if it wasn't all that glitz and glamour. It was yet another thing that Oracle could have that I couldn't. And maybe that was for the best. Just lay low and play the role of an average civilian. After all, what was more civilian than becoming another suit for a multi-billion-dollar company? A cog in the capitalist machine. A partner who could read minds would be a fate worse than death, I think. Okay, but it would make sense as to why Kronos managed to figure us out so quickly, if he can just read our mind. I was already one for my hero agency, Olympus. What was one more? The first day at the job is some sort of humiliating ritual, like you're the new character in a long-running beloved television series. I felt like I stood out in the worst possible ways, which was never ideal for someone who needed to keep their identities under wraps for seemingly forever. I could feel his eyes on me all day, which would be expected, despite my paranoia convincing me of the worst. Did I have something in my teeth? Did I look weird? Or worst of all, did they know I was Oracle? Even 8 years into being a hero, I still never managed to feel entirely comfortable. The only thing that helped me was when the next new hire arrived, which luckily for me only came a week after I started. I was an hour away from lunch as I sat transcribing my notes, trying to get lost in my work to pass time and take attention away from my grumbling stomach. For a while, all I could hear was a keyboard tapping, mouse clicking, and some murmurs, the usual. What wasn't usual, however, was the distinct sound of humming. I remember thinking nothing of it until it had gone on longer than the average hum. They were going as far to hum an entire song a couple of times in a row, leading me into my own game of guess that tune. My fingers paused with the keyboard as I strained my ears to listen. It wasn't something they made up, nor a song you would hear on the radio. It was probably the song you played at the bar. I knew I heard it before, then it clicked. It was from a musical, one I knew all too well. It was an ensemble number in the musical I performed in my youth. Back then I was, I guess, supporting role. As somebody who's been on stage, I've been in a lot of supporting roles more than anything else. I'd never forget it. I managed to land a pretty significant role as one of the supporting characters, one I am incredibly fond of. No matter how many times I practiced, I was convinced I was going to somehow mess it up. And yet, once I stood beneath that spotlight, it was as if it had cleansed me of all my doubts and fears. To this day, it proves that I was capable of so much more than I gave myself credit for. Not long after that, I ended up landing an even bigger role. After that musical, performing became my new love. That song I heard and performed countless times in my bedroom, on my way to school, and in my sleep at times. And here it was, being hummed in my place of work. How small the world is. I smiled to myself, listening to it as I tried to continue my work with not much success. His voice was so pleasant. It was deep, even melodic. I'm struggling to see now. I wonder if he had been in a band, choir, or maybe a musical as well. I guess compliment? I pivoted my chair in search of the owner of the voice, and in doing so, nearly knocked the wind out of me. I sat, mouth agape, as I saw that pretty voice come with a pretty face I'd seen before. A pair of unmistakable heterochromical eyes. Heterochromatic eyes. There we go. It was the guy from the bar, the guy I rescued, the one who flirted with me. Okay. Well, rather with Oracle, you know. He caught my eye and smiled a little, once again, almost making me lose my nerve. At you, the words die on my tongue. I chuckled nervously, avoiding his eyes. He laughed quietly in return. Sorry, was I being too loud? I shook my head dumbly like a deer stuck in headlights. No, I was actually going to say that you have a really nice voice. His eyes widened, his face flushed quite a bit, no doubt embarrassed. Thank you. I like your laugh. Ah. Now it was my turn to be surprised. Thank you. I'm sorry I never got your name. He moved his hands from his lap. I noticed he's been clenching them before. He offered his hand out to shake. I took it. I'm Nicholas, though everyone calls me Nick. Nicholas, huh? I never thought I'd see him again. New Alicia. Sorry. This city was by no means small, and out of all the jobs in the world, this doesn't feel very romantic. Well, it's a flashback before the romance, so, you know. Yeah, New Alicia. This city was by no means small, and out of all the jobs in the world, all the positions in the company, of all the floors in the company building, he somehow ended up here. What's yours? I'm Killer Marionette. My parents were very, very edgy and gave me a very edgy name. Only Killer Marionette, certainly not Oracle. Ha! It's nice to meet you. I look forward to working with you. Likewise. He seems friendly enough. Maybe I was right to feel paranoid, as he did know I was Oracle all along. Nope, we're saving. Boop. There we go. We're gonna save at chapter 15. You know, am I floating again? I'm floating. You know, I will say, this is... Yeah, it's a yandere superhero game, so he was bound to be a little crazy. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. View. You know, I'm surprised, kinda. I want to know where this goes. I'm so curious. Let me just... Alright, you wanted to see his heterochromia better, correct? Okay, I think the best... Oop. Give me a second. Okay, so to show... In his photo right here, you can tell that he has two different color eyes. You can't see that in the game because his pupils are always so blown wide. So it's just, you know. There we go. Anyway. So, my lovely little dolls, that's going to be the end today. I think we're getting closer to the end of the game. I'm not too sure. But, you know, we'll see where this goes. Can't be that too bad. So, my lovely little dolls, that's going to be the end today. Oh, there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. For those of you who get to see this later, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell in the corner, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. I want to know what everyone thinks. Don't forget to tune up during the week for more content. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Until our next meeting, my lovely little dolls. Bye-bye!